The second half of 2014 proved to be an exciting time for fans of phablet devices. Samsung, the company which arguably started the whole phablet thing with the Note, released not one but two new Note handsets. In addition to the Note 4 flagship, the company introduced the innovative Note Edge, which kept most of the Note 4's assets but also added an intriguing curved screen edge to the equation. What's more, Samsung's arch-rival in the mobile space, Apple, also decided to jump on the phablet bandwagon with the launch of the iPhone 6 Plus, which makes things all the more interesting. In order to prove that it's any good, the Samsung Galaxy Note Edge will obviously and inevitably have to face the iPhone 6 Plus. I'm Ray from PhoneArena and you're watching our comparison between the Galaxy Note Edge and the iPhone 6 Plus. The Note Edge is among the better looking Samsung phones, we dare say. Whether due to the curved screen edge or the refined body with eye-pleasing proportions, the Note Edge simply isn't as uncouth as the Note 4. Instead, it has a more elegant, sophisticated kind of look. Even then, the iPhone 6 Plus is a very tough opponent to beat in the design department. Apple's handset has an extraordinarily great in-hand feel thanks to its high-quality materials and razor-thin profile. Because of their physical characteristics, the iPhone 6 Plus is way more comfortable to hold and work with. Unfortunately, the edge near the curved screen side of the Note Edge is very thin, making it feel a bit sharp and unpractical for holding. Physical keys work well on both phones, but those on the iPhone 6 Plus are way better thanks to their defined clicky behavior. On top of that, we tend to prefer the positioning of the 6 Plus's power key, which is situated on the right hand side of the phone instead of on the top as it is on the Note Edge. Both trying to be impressively high-end with their home buttons, the Note Edge and iPhone 6 Plus also offer integrated fingerprint scanners for a higher level of security. Once again, there isn't anything particularly bad about the Edge's home screen, but that of the 6 Plus gets the high marks for comfort and clickiness. Phablets usually come with ginormous displays, and the iPhone 6 Plus and Note Edge do not disappoint. The Edge's screen measures 5.6 inches and has a spectacular resolution of 1440 by 2560 pixels, while Apple's proposition sticks with a 5.5-inch 1080p by 1920 pixel panel. Both displays are extremely detailed, though that of the Note Edge is just a touch sharper and clearer due to its enormous resolution. It's difficult to notice the difference through normal examination, but upon closer look, one can notice the subtle refinements that those extra pixels bring. In terms of maximum brightness, we would say that reading the 6 Plus's display under the hot bright sun is just a tad easier than doing so with the Note Edge, but you wouldn't have much trouble with the latter either. In its basic screen mode, the Galaxy Note Edge has respectable color accuracy and fidelity, although its slightly yellowish tint may not appeal to everyone. In contrast, the iPhone 6 Plus tends to be colder with its color temperature, exhibiting a higher amount of blue, but it may seem a bit more realistic in many occasions. Android 4.4 on the Galaxy Note Edge has been customized with a new version of TouchWiz, which has been appropriately tweaked to make use of the device's curved screen area. The changes are visible right from the home screen. The most used applications that are traditionally positioned at the bottom of the screen have been moved to the curved screen, leaving more space for widgets and other content on the home screen itself. There are other examples of the Edge screen being utilized in a special way throughout the user interface. For example, it's used to display the camera shutter in the camera app or the playback controls in the music player. What's more, that's where the useful quick tools reside, like a ruler, timer, torch, etc., as well as some other neat info panes such as sports results, stocks, and weather. Of course, the Note Edge also packs the typical TouchWiz goodies like multi-window mode and various smart functions like Smart Stay, as well as the newest S Pen stylus, complemented by software features like Smart Select, Action Memo, and the rest of the Air Command Kit. Needless to say, the Apple iPhone 6 Plus lacks a stylus. What it has, however, is a powerful and intuitive iOS system, which is renowned for its ease of use, stability, and polish. Apple has done some things in order to optimize the iOS 8 experience for the 6 Plus's larger screen to an extent, though it hasn't really done anything groundbreaking. There are mostly some changes in the menus which make the interface behave a bit more like that of an iPad. Additionally, there's the reachability feature which brings the whole screen UI halfway down so you can easily reach what's on the upper end. The Note Edge is powered by Qualcomm's 2.7 GHz quad-core Snapdragon 805. Built on a 28nm process, the chipset makes use of 4 Crate 450 CPUs and an Adreno 420 GPU. Both of these have seen some generational improvements over the ones available with the Snapdragon 801. Turning to the iPhone 6 Plus, we're looking at a 20nm Apple-designed chip built on ARM v8 64-bit architecture. The chipset utilizes just two 1.4 GHz Cyclone cores, which may sound underwhelming, but everything from synthetic benchmarks to real-life usage suggests the very opposite. This is an impressive piece of silicon which tends to outperform the Note Edge in both real-life and synthetic benchmarks, though this may have something to do with the relatively lower screen resolution of the 6 Plus. When it comes to storage space, the Note Edge comes in 32 and 64GB variants, and typically for a Samsung device it also sports a microSD card slot, which is always a great thing to have. On the other hand, the iPhone 6 Plus provides you with three storage options: 16, 46 and 128GB of built-in memory, but memory cards are a no-go, meaning that you'll be stuck with whatever space you've chosen initially. When it comes to browsing, with the Note Edge you have two options. Use the built-in browser by Samsung or just default to the tried and tested Google Chrome. It's obviously a question of choices. Both apps offer smooth performance and few to no perks. Looking at Apple, we've got the Safari browser to make use out of the box, and that one is absolutely down to the point, offering no special perks other than the ability to synchronize with its desktop sibling. As far as imaging goes, the Note line has always been among the best on the market, and the Galaxy Note Edge isn't an exception. Its camera configuration sounds promising even when read off a spec sheet. Just like the Note 4, we've got a 16MP 16:9 sensor complemented by a wide f2.2 lens and singular LED flash and face detection autofocus. Quite importantly, the rear camera of the Note Edge is optically stabilized. The iSight camera on both of the iPhone 6 Plus is an 8MP unit with f2.2 aperture, a two-tone LED flash, and face detection autofocus implementation code focus pixels. Like the Note Edge, the 6 Plus also comes with optical stabilization, and this is Apple's first time implementing such tech into its mobile devices. Turning to image quality, it's fair to say that you can expect excellent results from both phones during the day. In fact, it's really hard to put either in the lead as they are so close in terms of reproducing the overall composition in front of them. However, while both phones offer dynamic scenes, they boost color slightly. The iPhone 6 Plus churns out snaps that are slightly warmer than in reality, while the Note Edge does the opposite and captures scenes that are a bit colder than ideal. That said, both deviate from reality so slightly that it's actually a question of taste more than anything else. Thankfully, noise is also essentially negligible with both. The only area of no contest is details. The Note Edge's larger photos offer visibly more fine information if you zoom in to 100%. Indoors, the two devices again offer great results, but we found that the iPhone 6 Plus produces slightly brighter shots. On the other hand, however, color reproduction, while excellent on the whole, is a bit lacking in comparison with the Note Edge, as hues look a bit faded and washed out when put next to shots from the Samsung phablet. The Samsung Galaxy Note Edge proved to be a very capable camcorder in our time with it, though it obviously wasn't without some kinks. Video capture at 1080p and 4K is excellent, with clips coming out smooth and shake-free, thanks to OIS in no small part. Sadly, 4K can only be up to 5 minutes long, but in many situations that tends to be enough, As for the iPhone 6 Plus, we again have mighty impressive footage, though Apple has deemed 4K UHD ahead of its time and has not seen it fit to be included. The standard 1080p resolution clips produced by the 6 Plus are nevertheless excellent, while lack of 4K will definitely end up as a cons for some. It's worth noting that the 6 Plus's superior audio reproduction is a saving grace. In comparison, the Note Edge doesn't manage to isolate background noise as successfully. Given that we're looking at two extremely large phablet devices, it is obviously the case that both are perfectly suited for media consumption and specifically videos and photos. Starting with video, we've got to hand it to Samsung. Its video player goes beyond the basics. The app supports subtitles that can be resized and layered on top of the interface so that it follows you wherever you go. Samsung has also added quick access to its video editing apps, which are full of options. As for the iPhone 6 Plus, Apple's signature conservative approach is evident. The player is basically limited to its main purpose, playing back video. Extra functionality is simply non-existent. A scenario similar to the above is also true for the two devices' respective music players. The Note Edge again grabs the medal for functionality and flexibility, while the iPhone 6 Plus is, conversely, quite basic. Apple's music app remains integrated with iTunes Radio, which is a nice perk if you use it, but things like equalizer settings are not available directly for that. You'll need to head over to the iOS 8 settings menu and dig there. Speaking of music playback, we've got to say that the Samsung Note Edge disappoints with its clarity in comparison with the iPhone 6 Plus, though it's overall louder. Both earpieces tend to sound loud and relatively clear. That of the Note Edge could be a bit more open, but it's pretty decent the way it is. You shouldn't have any trouble with your calls, even in noisier ambiances. While we have mostly positive impressions about the microphone performance of the iPhone 6 Plus, the Note Edge produces a bit of a hiss that may be audible on the other end of the line. We've gotten used to Samsung handsets sporting bigger batteries than Apple handsets, but in this case both are almost equal. Unlike the Note 4, which has a 3220 mAh juicer, the Note Edge has a smaller 3000 mAh one. Now that's slightly bigger than the 6 Plus's 2915 mAh, but as you can see, the difference in capacity is negligible. Unfortunately, Samsung isn't willing to share any specific battery life estimates at this time, but we do have the data from our custom battery life test. According to the results, the Galaxy Note Edge has managed a pretty decent 7 hours and 8 minutes, which is a bit better than the iPhone 6 Plus's 6 hours and 32 minutes. And here we are, staring at these incredibly exciting phablets, thinking which one deserves to take the victory home. Well, you know what? We'll have to call this a tie, because both handsets have some amazing assets to offer to consumers. On one hand, the iPhone 6 Plus is downright beautiful, extremely fast, and has that super intuitive iOS experience. But on the other, the Note Edge shines with some great capabilities, the S Pen and of course the Edge screen. We'll definitely have to give the Edge screen some more time though, because it's something very different from what we're used to. Right now it doesn't really seem to be that useful or needed, but we'll give it some time and see if it manages to prove that there is future for it. At the end of the day, both phablets will present users with a cutting-edge performance and capabilities, but consumers will have to decide if they want to go the Samsung Android way or the Apple way. Each has clear advantages and disadvantages on the platform level, but if we allow ourselves to focus exclusively on the devices at hand, we could say that they're both winners. One last detail that we have to take into account is that the Note Edge is a bit more expensive than the iPhone 6 Plus, as it's priced at $399 on a 2-year contract, while the 6 Plus is $299 on a 2-year contract. It looks like that forward-looking Edge display has premium attached to it, but hopefully it won't be long before it goes through a little price adjustment. So thank you for watching our video comparison between the Samsung Galaxy Note Edge and the iPhone 6 Plus. For even more details, just check us out at PhoneArena.com.